Will Joe Biden finally get in trouble for Hunter's leaked text message? Let us know. I'm sitting here waiting for your call with my father.
You've heard of the Boston Tea Party, but are you ready for a pizza party? I'm waiting for your call with my father.
There was a coup in Russia, and wait, never mind. I'm waiting here for your call with my father.
Putin is losing the war in Iraq? That doesn't make sense. I'm waiting for your call with my father.
Can Indiana Jones break Disney's box office losing streak? I don't know. Shrug.
All this and more on
The Babylon Bee Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Babylon Bee Podcast. I'm hanging out with Adam Yenser.
Jarrett Lemaster.
Jarrett Lemaster.
And Travis
Third
Woodside.
chair. I mean, Travis.
Fourth chair.
Fourth chair.
Doesn't look like he likes you touching him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Someone didn't hear Emma's speech before the shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, is it okay if I touch you?
Not now. It would have been, but you didn't ask first. So.
Okay.
He and his father will make sure you live to regret that forever.
I already regret it. Yeah, I've lived that far.
Travis, is your love language physical touch?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
What is it? What is your love language?
It's give me the money. It's the same as Hunter Biden's.
I don't think that's one of them.
It's gifts, and giving gifts.
Really?
Yeah.
I do like how
I've never received a gift from you. It makes me feel.
I do like how
Unloved.
I do like how the love languages are like all kind of high concept in terms of like they're all spiritual.
Words of affirmation.
And then one of
what
them's
is it?
like-
quality time.
Quality time.
Yeah.
Well, then one of them is like, I just want stuff.
Yeah.
I'll just take the
Physical
stuff.
gifts.
And you're like filling out the quiz, and you're like, oh, if I just fill out all the gift ones, then my wife will think my love language is
It's just
gifts,
getting-
and then I just get a bunch of stuff.
Getting stuff.
Unless she doesn't love you.
There's that side. There's Woodside.
Well, everyone, we have a fun show planned for you today. I haven't read any of the notes yet, so we're going to see how fun it is.
Be sure to physically touch the like, subscribe, and little bell to keep up with all our podcasts on YouTube and Rumble.
Did you
But
say
also
physically
ask.
touch?
Yeah.
But also ask
It's
first.
love language. I'm
Ask-
saying
but ask permission.
Physically
Oh,
touch
physically
the,
touch.
Get the consent.
Yeah,
As
And
long
then-
as
like and subscribe button.
And then spend quality time with the Babylon Bee.
Gross.
You can love our language with gifts by becoming a Babylon Bee subscriber. You can get the full ad-free full-length podcast. Use promo code podcast to get 20% off at babylonbee.com/plans, and you get the full show.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Like, subscribe, and give us words of affirmation through your comments.
And you can use this special link or the discount code podcast to get 10% off anything in the Babylon Bee store, which is pretty cool, including our new America shirts, which I'm not wearing.
None of us are wearing today.
I'm wearing a Babylon Bee shirt.
Oh, that's a good one. Don't tread
I could
on
go
me.
put one on.
I get it.
I kind of wanted to put one on.
I had the America one. I wore it yesterday, so it's in the wash.
Yeah, Sam was here yesterday. He stole the one I would have taken.
Oh,
Getting a lot of
there we go.
interruptions. This
Dan did not
episode.
bring me a tissue, but he did bring me an XL America shirt. So
a nice pink America shirt.
if you order it today, you will have it in time for the 4th of July next year.
And for $100, you can have this exact one that's been touched by Kyle.
And
Yeah.
Bettina designed these, and she did a great job.
Yeah, you can see
So support
Donald Trump.
woman-owned shirts.
woman-owned
Women-owned businesses.
Our woke
businesses.
America shirt.
Woke shirts.
Hey, Kyle, what's in the news this week?
Americans are discovering that if we want to change the nation, we have to change the way the marketplace works. And that change starts with you, with your local communities, and with your wallet. Be deliberate with your dollars and reject woke corporations. Imagine a world in which every single dollar you spend would go towards companies that share your values for life, liberty, and patriotism. Now with the Public Square app, you can. Public SQ, or Public Square, is an app and website that connects freedom-loving Americans to the community and companies that share their values. Engage in a nationwide platform with the largest directory of patriotic businesses and consumers, all while accessing exclusive savings at businesses that see the world the way you do. The marketplace is free to join for consumers and business owners alike. To get started and shop your values, download the Public Square app from the App Store or Google Play, or click on the link in the video description.
What's in the news this week?
I don't know. I haven't read the notes yet. The Russian mercenary coup that lasted less than 24 hours is the thing that happened. Wagner Private Military Company took over the command center for the Ukraine war and the military facilities in Rostov, and then started heading towards Moscow.
Did you say
This
that
is a lot
correctly?
of information.
Rostov.
There's a
Yevgeny.
lot of information, a lot of Russian names. Yevgeny Prigozhin,
Prigozhin.
who was known as Putin's chef.
Chef.
I didn't know he was a chef first. An owner of catering businesses before he became a mercenary boss.
Whoa.
Says it was just a march for justice.
It was a
and
march
called
for
his
justice.
Mercs to stand down to avoid Russian bloodshed. I think originally he claimed that the Russian military had like airstriked his Wagner Group people or something.
Oh.
So they're a mercenary group, so they're not actual soldiers?
It's a mercenary group that was then hired by Putin to help fight the war.
Okay.
They're not officially part of. I don't think they're officially part of the
Okay.
Russian army. I
They're
could have that wrong.
Soldiers of fortune.
They're like a mercenary group that has been
Yeah.
fighting with the Russians.
So someone else just said, like, oh,
And
I'll
then
give
they-
you money, and now you work for me.
yeah, it's like that
Prigozhin
army in
used
the
to
Game of
be
Thrones.
Putin's like main, what would you call it? His main like military guy, and now
Mm-hmm.
he's turning on him, and then he fled to Belarus or something.
Mm-hmm.
So mercenaries turning on Russia is obviously bad for Russia, but I wouldn't really call that a coup because it's not the Russian forces themselves.
I think when they started turning and marching towards Moscow, I think there was a worry that they were going to try to, off Putin or take over the government.
Yeah,
In
because
which case it would have been a coup.
just an invasion if it came from the outside.
I think it's
But
still
since
could
it's
be a
from
coup.
the inside, it's a coup.
A coup is just a sudden-
They're Russian citizens.
But you
though.
can do a coup in another country, can't
yeah.
you? Like a coup doesn't mean that it was from within
You can
the country.
definitely support a
Yeah, I
coup
guess
in
you're
another country.
Oh, I think a coup can be either the official military or non-military. It's just overthrowing a government, kind of unexpected.
Yeah, it can be
taking
either or.
over.
Yeah.
But according to Alexa, it has to be successful or it's not a coup anymore.
So it's an attempted coup.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that be a good thing though? I feel like if somebody else just stepped in Putin's place.
the
don't
debate
know.
now has been Putin's like awful, but the U.S. is familiar with him and his style. If somebody like Prigozhin took over, he could actually be worse than Putin. He
Well,
might
that's
have,
like
he
the-
might still
the
have all
devil
the
you
same
know.
goals
That's
as
what I was gonna
Putin, but be either more brutal or not as sympathetic to the West, even less so than Putin.
It's like
Change
like
always
Saddam
causes
Hussein.
change always causes instability.
Yeah. What is it? The devil you know versus
The devil you know.
Yeah.
The
Kyle
devil
said
you know
it.
is the
Then I
first.
said it. Then you said it.
But Biden said that Putin is clearly losing the war in Iraq.
It's good that he's going to lose that war.
Yeah, that was
That was close.
relief.
That was a close one.
Zelensky says they will not have any elections until after the war and martial law is over.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, that makes sense, obviously. It's efficient,
Yeah, you're not allowed to have elections during a war.
I think we usually have elections. Like,
We do.
But if there was a war, and I wonder in the United States, if somebody was attacking the United States on the United States, sovereign
we had
land.
elections like during the Civil War. We had elections
That's true.
during World War.
I think we'd still have elections. We'd just have to wear masks and do mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know
there
that-
is. Wait a minute. There is a war going.
that you're right. We had an election during the Civil War, and it's weird because we were arguing, no, we're still the same country. You can't leave us. But we didn't take their votes for president.
You don't think they like going to the polling places
Yeah,
in the
they-
South? And
So it's just kind of a weird
yeah.
thing. It's a weird.
Yeah, how
assumption.
did that work? Did they just not count any votes in the
Right.
South?
I imagine, like you said, there were no polling places. They're like, we have a president. It's Jefferson Davis. He's a great man.
It seems like Travis is kind of mad about this. Are you?
I'm fine.
South will rise.
No,
No, I'm fine.
it's fine. The South still exists in our hearts.
Oh no.
This is like the Roseanne moment this week. They're going to take you out
Yeah.
of context and be like, Travis said Jefferson Davis is a great man. And the South was right.
My comment, the South will rise again. Was taken out of context. What happened with Roseanne? I saw that she said something got
She
taken
was
out.
on, I think was it Theo Vaughn's podcast, I think. And they were talking about her getting canceled and what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say. And while she was rambling and sort of saying things sarcastically, she said, no one died in the Holocaust. And then she said something along the lines of, but Jews should die or something. But
Yeah.
she's Jewish. But she was sort of rambling and doing that thing where you're in the voice of, these are the things you're not allowed to say, and you'd get in trouble if you said this. And then the headline on TMZ and elsewhere was, Roseanne says no one died in the Holocaust and that Jews should die now.
So she was like, no one died in the Holocaust.
Right, and you have to read the article to find out, she's being sarcastic.
Yeah.
So that, what I just said, is now going to get clipped in.
Right. So, I mean...
So did they they must have intentionally taken that out of context. That's what
It's got to be on purpose.
They do that sometimes.
That's just stupid. It's
Once
stupid.
in a while.
Like all the time.
They've done that on occasion.
They do it occasionally.
Well, last week we talked about Hunter Biden avoiding jail time. After that, an IRS whistleblower revealed how the Department of Justice wasn't prosecuting the Bidens for worse crimes and revealed a WhatsApp message from Hunter that is interesting.
Incriminating.
And he said, I am sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. This is like a spy movie or something. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand.
Wink.
And now
means tonight.
Tonight.
And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father.
He's talking like a Bond villain, like with the Bond villain being like, oh, I'm waiting with my father. So.
It's like the real villain's right next to me.
Yeah.
but
And he specifically invokes his father and everyone his father knows. You can't get more direct.
Yeah.
He says it twice too. He
evidence.
says at
Yeah.
the beginning and the end. He bookends. I'm sitting here with my father.
So this
I'm
is to a
sitting
Chinese
here.
businessman.
This my father.
And just his tone is so weird because Biden himself always tries to portray Hunter as, oh, I'm proud of him and he's a good kid with addiction and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Every time you read anything he says or does, he sounds just like a sinister, awful person. He does talk like a villain.
I have some friends that know him, and he's not. He's actually a very cool guy. Like to hang out
I'm
with.
sure he's
Are we talking
one of
about
those.
Hunter Biden?
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd be
he's
fun
one
to
of
hang
those-
out with.
I'm sure he's one of those
He's a real fun
sociopath
guy.
kind of people where
He's the life of the party.
He's good at getting people to like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when some of his other leaked text messages were him cursing at his mom and just saying horrible stuff about other members of his family. It's just
I mean, the life of the party, the charismatic guy.
yeah.
That has the dark side.
I think it is. It's that dark triad kind of stuff where he gets people to like him, but he's a messed up
maybe
person.
he's
a dark,
sociopath.
disturbed figure, and it's like how people were in love with Ted Bundy when he was on death row.
Yeah.
Were you? Yeah.
Very
Not
charismatic.
me. I
Likable.
wasn't-
Oh, I thought that was a
I
confession.
was 2 years old.
If
can either
there's two people
confess
Travis
your
likes,
sins.
it's Jefferson Davis and Ted Bundy.
But I just defended Hunter Biden, so let's just remember
Yeah,
that.
but this is so blatant, and Biden's not going to get impeached over this.
Well, the one thing that was interesting to me is that this wasn't while Biden was in office, right? This
No, it was 2017.
2017. But
false.
but the kind of context of it does make it seem like we're going to use these connections as long as I'm able to do this.
And it's now Biden said he was asked by a reporter if he was actually in the room. They're saying no, and Hunter's lawyer said, "Oh, my client had an addiction, so you can't rely on things he said." And it's that thing where, at the very least, stuff like this seems to show that Biden lied when he claimed he never discussed anything business related.
No, I never talked
to
business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
well,
it-
and that's
it
the thing.
seems unlikely that a conversation like that would happen if Joe Biden had never discussed any business.
Right.
dealings.
And I mean, I think that's the issue. So he's lying about this connection.
Yeah.
If Bill Clinton can lie about having an affair and that gets him impeached, why won't it something
Yeah.
like this?
It was a different time.
It was a different time.
I think it was a different time.
The 90s.
But also maybe he's talking about his priest. I'm sitting here with my father,
My father.
Father, Johnson.
What if he's talking about like Father Abraham?
I'm sitting here with Father Abraham,
Yeah.
and he's in the room right now because he was so high.
And it's possible
Abraham came
that
in.
Father Abraham never discussed business with him because he had many sons.
He had many sons.
That is that's possible.
I'm one of them, and so are you.
But Father Abraham was eventually impeached for calling his wife his sister.
You lied about that
It was a different time.
every time.
He was impeached.
Guys, we're going into this situation. It's kind of hairy. I'm going to say you're my sister. What do you think?
She's like, well, technically I am, so...
Technically, I am.
I was
Let's go with that.
I'm
Halfsies.
cracking up
Okay.
reading Genesis because that happens like 3 times.
Yeah, he's like, didn't work
It
out
keeps
last
happening.
time. Didn't work out last time. God was really mad. We're
Well,
going to do it
Abraham
again.
does it twice, and
Right.
then like
Jacob
Isaac does it.
Or Isaac, yeah.
I think
Isaac.
Isaac
Yeah.
does it.
And then Ilhan Omer's doing kind of a version of that now.
But she's not lying about it.
Yeah. No, she's lying.
She's calling her brother her husband.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
the other way around.
It's a different time.
Yeah.
It's a different time.
But what time is it? It's pizza time.
Pizza time. Give us pizza or give us death. In New York City seeks new rules to reduce emissions from coal and wood-fired pizza ovens by 75%.
How do you do that?
So that's the interesting. Well, I was just in New York City last week, and there are pizza ovens on every corner. So this is interesting. The New York City Department of Environmental Protection has drafted new rules that would order eateries using the traditional baking method to slice carbon emissions up by 75%. To slice it up.
I like that.
All New Yorkers deserve to breathe healthy air, and wood and coal-fired stoves are among the largest contributors of harmful pollutants in the neighborhoods with poor air quality. Department spokesperson Ted Timbers said. I think this is interesting.
There's lots of little puns.
Ted Timbers. Oh, yeah. The rule could
Name's
require
Timbers.
pizzerias to install
Ted
costly
Timbers.
emissions control devices, air filters that would require installation maintenance. This is a weird story because I feel like that is like one of the big staples when you go to New York.
People love
legitimately wood-fired,
coal-fired
coal-fired.
pizza, yeah.
So what are
I
you
didn't
going
know
to
they did coal-fired pizza. Like, I don't know. No one advertises that. It's always like a wood-burning pizza oven. That's like the big thing. But
I think coal.
But
I think
bricks.
I've seen
I think
coal.
you can do wood or coal, yeah.
I think I've seen
It's
coal
just
fire.
barbecue.
Grimaldi's in Brooklyn is my favorite.
It's like a barbecued pizza. And that's no matter what it is that you're using to burn, you're not going to do it on gas.
sure.
So that's the
Well, I mean, it's like from a leftist mindset, you see coal and that's like a buzzword. I get that concept, but wood burning is like one of the cleanest ways to burn anything.
Is it?
So I would
didn't know
think.
That's not what Ted Timbers said.
yeah. Ted
Timbers.
Timbers.
And if
He
there's
has a-
anyone who would know about wood, it's Ted Timbers.
I know about wood. My name's Timbers.
Yeah,
He's fighting Big Wood.
he's fighting a war against wood
War against Big
because he's
Wood,
a
yeah.
lumberjack.
Right.
And Ted
That's
Timbers.
true. I was there last weekend. There's not a big war against wood.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
This is like the busybody government that feels like they have to do something.
Yeah.
And they they're walking by Ted Timbers or somebody's like walking by a pizza restaurant. He's like, look at that smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I could do? But it's like, that's the thing is like, if you look at what's actually contributing to pollutants or climate change or whatever all the different crises are, it's never these little tiny things. Like I'm sure if you looked at the actual percentage of pollution that was released by a wood-fired pizza oven versus like massive industries.
Well, just
and,
imagine.
you know,
I mean, every home in New York City forever had a hearth, right, with a wood fireplace, and that was definitely probably contributing. But now there's probably one wood-fired pizza grill on like every other block or something. So it's not like it's going to be that many. I can't imagine actually.
It also just seems like these are such an unpopular position to take. Even if you're
Politically,
pro-environment or if you're a climate change activist, the thing New York is known for is pizza. People there
Yeah.
love pizzerias.
Right.
It just seems like this is asking to, be ridiculed and be an unpopular decision.
hey, what would be the line for you guys? At what point do we say commence 1776?
Yeah.
It's a joke, but it's actually a fair point. We went to war over like taxes on stamps, basically on tea, and
True.
now they're
Well, and
taking away our pizza ovens.
we didn't have representation at the time.
Oh yeah, we have
was all part of it.
representation that is taking away our ovens. It's true. We voted for them.
I read somewhere that when you look at like the Tax Act and the Stamp Act or whatever, am I getting those right? I don't know.
Yes,
But you look at those acts that King George III passed or whatever, and they actually reduced taxes a little bit. It was just that it moved it around to places where people saw it more, like tax on tea or whatever. Yeah. But they took away other taxes and stuff. But they're still like screw this.
So Travis pro Jefferson Davis, Kyle pro
King George. Well, it is interesting though.
Return to the monarchy.
they did England spent a bunch of money trying to protect the Americas from the French. So they fought this big war and they were trying to recoup some of the cost. Makes a lot of sense, actually, financially. And we were like, no, leave us alone.
But now we're okay. So to me, the line has already been crossed. But I've kind of
You think we should already be at war over the pizzas?
well, no, not the pizza specifically. But just when you look at like giving up, 40% of your income, and when you add up all the gas tax and sales tax and income tax, it's like
that's true.
We should have already, and now it's too late. I think it's just too late. So
I'm but one man.
So
what can I do?
What can I do?
Our mercenaries,
They'll never come for
our
me.
mercenaries need to start a coup. Is what you're saying?
They need
No.
to start.
You're gonna get us canceled.
Are you
I'm clearly
saying
not
we
saying
should
that.
start a coup?
I am not saying that, but I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father.
Hey, you guys hear about Disney? Disney lost $890 million on its last 8 films in the last 12 months, according to a YouTube financial analyst, Valiant Renegade. And I go to Valiant Renegade for all of
all my
economic
statistics.
analysis. There was Lightyear, there was Thor: Love and Thunder, Strange World, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Little Mermaid, and Elemental. The last 2 films are still in theaters. The production and advertising budgets added up to $2,750,000,000, and the box office brought in and rentals a total of $1,861,000,000. So they lost $890 million.
Oh, so they actually did lose money. This isn't just
It
not
cost
meeting
more to
expectations.
produce and market
Yeah.
them than it
Yeah, I
did
thought it
to
was
bring
just
in.
projections. Like they didn't hit their projections.
And I think
but-
some of those were much bigger flops than others. Like Lightyear was a
yeah,
big
them all up,
flop.
Yeah.
Elemental was
I
a
thought
big
Guardians did pretty good.
Little Mermaid did okay, didn't it?
I think Little Mermaid bombed because of global box office.
Oh, okay.
What about Ant-Man and Wasp didn't do very well?
The Chinese.
I think it just
The Chinese didn't like it.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, and to an extent Guardians, those are probably more victims of the fact that the movie industry has changed since COVID. Since everything got locked down, you're still not really... I feel like people don't care as much about movies as they
Yeah,
used
but
to.
wait a minute. So, like, just as a counterpoint, Maverick made $1 billion in the box office. So, I think people do care about going to the movies. They're just going to choose ones. They're not going to go if it's something super woke and they hear it's super woke.
There's
they're not gonna
definitely
get the
a
audience.
little Marvel fatigue. I mean, that's
Yeah.
part of it.
And I think the wokeness in the movies is definitely not a good thing. But I think overall, a lot of these where they put the woke stuff in, they also just don't have good stories or good narratives anymore. I saw the trailer for Elemental when I went to see another movie, and it just looked like a weird,
It looked weird to
not
me.
good movie.
Yeah.
It was a strange concept.
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard people say that Elemental was actually a pretty good non-woke story.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
There is a non-binary character in it.
I heard that, but they're also like
But they all
Water.
hate the non-binary character.
Oh, well, that's okay then.
well, there's like a non-binary character, but apparently it's just because they say they one time, and like that's all. But also they don't have wieners. They're like drops of water and
point.
stuff. So
That's a good point.
Doesn't it kind of make sense that they'd be?
It was just such
All
a
of them are
strange
non-binary.
concept because I feel like you don't really hear anymore about the idea of the 4 elements.
just
of,
wanna-
like earth, air,
Yeah.
fire,
Yeah.
and water. That's
Yeah.
not
I'm
a
so
real
glad they didn't.
well-known
So glad they didn't have wieners.
theory anymore. Yes.
But that fifth element.
That's
fifth
their
element
next. That's
is
their next
love.
movie, though. It's Disney Pixar's Wieners.
That one's really woke.
yeah, it's super woke.
They're like, we're going all out. Oh my goodness. No, I think Disney Pixar, the 5 love languages is actually going to be better. I think that's a great idea.
I would have seen the Little Mermaid, but she wasn't a redhead anymore. I mean,
Wasn't
she's
she,
kind
though?
of, like
She was kind of a redhead.
not a ginger.
Well, she was.
She wasn't like a.
It's just your way of saying she's black.
I didn't say that.
No, I don't hate her because she's black. I just hate her because she's
Yeah.
not a ginger. Wink.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
But her
know what I
scales
mean.
are a different shade of blue.
I didn't see it because it's a live action version of a movie that I don't think needs a live action.
I don't.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
don't like
already
any
a
of.
good
I don't like
movie.
any of the live action
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah,
but if
same.
she was the redhead,
I am not motivated to see those. I didn't see The Lion King. And I
seem
eventually saw it because we were like, what else do we watch? But like it was
the
like The
only-
Lion King. And then the other one,
The Beauty and the Beast
Aladdin.
live action one was the only one I saw because some friends were going to see it.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was good, but only
actually decent.
It's only insofar as Beauty and the Beast is a good movie. It's
Yeah.
just like a
it-
shot-for-shot live action remake. I don't think it's better than the original. It's just it's
I
a
do
good
like-
story and
they
I
just
don't
kind of
really care.
exist.
It's
That's how I
pointless,
feel.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that actress though. She's wonderful. I'd see her again. I didn't see that one though.
Who here is still buying Disney products so we can tease them?
I would still go to Disneyland. I still think Disneyland's fun.
I go to Disneyland.
I have Disney Plus.
So all of us.
I have Disney Plus. Also.
I canceled Disney Plus when they fired Gina Carano.
Yeah.
And I haven't resubscribed, but I do steal somebody's.
Yeah, I don't have Disney.
Yeah,
Plus
there's some good stuff on there.
Disney Plus is a thing where at this point I pretty much only have it around for Bluey.
Yeah, same.
And Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched.
But only certain Star Wars things.
I haven't watched much Star. I mean, Mandalorian, but I haven't watched.
Yeah, I don't really watch all the animated Star Wars movies and stuff. But
no, I haven't watched those. But I mean, I guess I pick up on the TV shows like Obi-Wan and The Mandalorian and stuff. I always kind of try to catch those, but not all of them. The Bad Batch I didn't watch.
Well, speaking of bombs, here's the Babylon Bee's banger of the week.
Banger of the week.
Hunter Steene Courthouse trying to weigh crack on Lady Justice's scales.
I thought this was supposed to be satire.
This is
I did see a comment under this one where someone said like something like that. Like,
this is
you guys aren't supposed to report the real news.
There's
the
Photoshop
like that
on every single one.
I know.
The
Even
Photoshop
like very
is
outlandish.
Well, part of that's because that's the comment generator has that.
Well,
but even on Facebook and Twitter, where you don't have that, people always write the same thing.
They'll do that even for super zany ones.
Yeah,
which that's my favorite though. It's like, oh, this space pope or whatever. And it's like, I thought this was supposed to be satire. This is the news.
Stop giving them ideas.
I'm reporting the news.
Well, speaking of blow, here is the Babylon Bee's bomb of the week. I don't know about you guys. It takes a lot to shock me these days. But to see our judicial system resemble a third world banana republic, to see trusted American companies embracing insane and destructive woke ideologies, it's all frankly depressing. We must fight back, and that starts with changing the way we spend our money. For years, big mobile companies have been dumping millions into leftist causes, and we just had to take it, because another option didn't exist. But now it does. Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offers dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. So you get the best possible service in your area without the woke propaganda pushed by leftists working hard to destroy this country. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you support free speech and religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% US-based customer service team makes switching easy. Just go to patriotmobile.com/B2023, that's B2023, BEE2023, or call them 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code BEE2023.
Bomb of the week.
Youth pastors imploding the submersible of sin in your life sermon deemed tasteless and too soon.
I like that one, especially.
We made a few attempts at submersible jokes.
None of them did very well. I don't know why. Yeah. But I like that. I like the nerdy.
I like the female drummer in that one.
Do you?
That's definitely what I.
That's what
it's an unusual thing, and I have a female drummer, so that's good.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would have liked her if she was a ginger.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks like she might be.
Actually, I was gonna like it, but she's not redheaded anymore.
I have a problem with her for that reason.
Well, that's all very interesting, but I'd rather watch the weekly news with Adam Yenser. Hey, Adam, tell us the news.
It's time for the weekly news with Adam Yenser.
A group of nude bicyclists performed publicly in front of a crowd, including children, at a Seattle Pride parade, and no one was more disgusted than the owner of the bike rental shop. Maury Povich announced that he is launching his own line of at-home DNA paternity tests. The tests are sold individually or in the bulk Sholanda size. Due to pollution and smoke from Canada's wildfires, Chicago had the worst air quality in the world this week. In fact, Chicago was so polluted, residents could barely see far enough to murder. This week, Vladimir Putin found out that in Soviet Russia, Russia attacks you. The leader of the Wagner mercenary group mounted a brief rebellion, but then gave up after Russia warned Russia that Russia has nukes. It was announced this week that Ryan Seacrest will take over for Pat Sajak as host of Wheel of Fortune, and Vanna White plans to return as Vanna the Grey. Like most retired people, Sajak plans to spend his time sitting at home watching Wheel of Fortune. After reporters noticed marks on Joe Biden's face, the White House revealed that he started using a CPAP machine for sleep apnea, which will hopefully stop him from snoring at his next UN conference. Democratic presidential candidate RFK Jr. posed for a shirtless picture at California's Venice Beach. There was an awkward moment when he stepped on a used needle and shouted, "Gross, I hope there wasn't a vaccine in there." 7.5 million Baby Shark bath toys have been recalled due to a risk of impalement. The toys cause parents to get the song stuck in their head and then stab themselves in the ears. Democratic Representative Rosa DeLauro claimed that supporting abortion is consistent with her Catholic faith, which is like claiming that this part of her hair is consistent with this part of her hair. Pope Francis welcomed several artists to the Vatican this week, including Andrew Serrano, creator of the controversial P. Christ. This is similar to the time Pope Francis welcomed the creator of the controversial Poop Pants. That's it for Weekly News. To see more, check out my YouTube channel and come see me live. I'll be headlining the Savannah Comedy Review in Georgia on July 8th, and I'll be at the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood July 2nd and 14th.
Wow, Adam. That was good.
That was amazing.
No, it was good.
That was the best one I've seen. Best one I've ever seen. All right.
Now it is time for our interview with Harrison Tinsley, who is facing a legal custody battle over his 3-year-old son. His wife is trying to raise him non-binary.
That's not funny.
And now it's time for another interview on the Babylon Bee podcast.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on? We kind of prepped your audience a little bit, but yeah, give us the details of your story here.
Well, essentially, I was dating a girl in the Bay Area, and shortly after we started dating, she got pregnant, and we were both happy about that, thank God. And a few months into the pregnancy, she had some mental illness problems. I always thought we could work around that, and she just kept threatening me to not see my son if I wasn't exactly who she wanted me to be, particularly politically. And it ends up that she breaks up with me and sends me a cease and desist letter from her attorney. And then I don't know when my son's born. I find out about a week later from one of her friends on social media. 2 months after that, I filed in court in San Francisco, and it took 13 more months for me to meet my son. So I met him when he was 15 months old. I battled on. I moved to the Bay Area. I was awarded half custody of him, which was a blessing. And after I won half custody, I became aware of some safety concerns for my son, as well as some defamation against me, and some basically his mom was starting to put him in dresses and call him they, treat him as non-binary or something to that effect. All of which I wasn't very okay with, and the safety concerns were pretty serious. You know, there was an arrest for child endangerment and a 5150 with my son involved. And so I produced all that to court. I was granted a 5-day trial, which I was very fortunate to be granted. You know, most people get a 20-minute hearing and their life is decided based on that. And so I felt really good about the trial and had lots of evidence and witnesses. And after the trial, basically the court made the decision to keep custody the same, that my son had to see the doctor that the mom preferred, and that they would not rule on gender.
Wow. How old is your son now?
3.5.
So this is definitely something that's forced on him by his mother. There's no way for him to know anything about his own personal identity quite yet.
Well, so now he's actually becoming hyper aware of it because of what's happening. So he will tell you he's a boy through and through if anyone asks him. In fact, if you say anything to the contrary or give him too girly of a toy, like he's playing with his girl cousins, he gets mad and he'll yell and scream at you, "No, I'm a boy, not a girl." So it's making him hyper aware of it. It's not really okay. And he fully knows he's a boy. He loves being a boy. And I just think it's really sad that you wouldn't want your son to be happy with who he is.
So what's the current status? Do you have any kind of recourse, or, I mean, beyond the court? Because the court didn't rule one way or the other, and it's just kind of like, well, it's status quo. So when he's with the mom, she can keep doing this basically to him. So do you have any kind of recourse to?
Well, so I'm appealing the entire decision.
Okay.
That included, although I'll tell you that, as I told you, some of the details, not all of them, but that wasn't the top of our list. You know, we know we're in San Francisco, so we're pressing the bigger safety concerns, but I'm hoping that I can get get him treated as a boy, which he is.
Wow. How can our listeners help you? What is it we can do for you?
I have a Give, Send, Go.
Okay.
Give, Send, Go, Saving Sawyer. That's one way. You can pray for me. You can send me a message. You could go to the Capitol and protest some of the crazy bills in California, these anti-parent bills they have, like 957. They're directly trying to make it in family court to give custody to a parent that affirms a kid's gender identity. There's a lot of bills that are pretty troubling. Or just speak up even. Courage really inspires other people to speak up. I think it's really important. Too many people are staying quiet.
What is the current status of state law with stuff like this? I know I've heard about some of the crazy bills that are going through. Did it seem very friendly to her case and what she's trying to do to your son, or was it just kind of based on the judge's decision at this point?
It's very interesting. A lot of the Democrat senators, including the author of the bill, she's an assembly member, but whom I talked to, they all seem to think that the bill will help me since they say affirming the kid's gender identity. I'm affirming that he's a boy. He says he's a boy.
That's true.
I'm not. So I'm not. It could help me, but even if it does help me, I'm worried that it'll hurt thousands of families, tear them apart. Parents are just going to start making this up in court. They use anything they can to try to win custody and get revenge at each other after divorces and such. So, yeah, I think the bill could definitely hurt a lot of people. For me, we'll see.
Wow.
Okay.
Gosh, that's terrible, Harrison, and we're with you. We stand with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. We're definitely going to be praying for you, and we want people to go to that GoFundMe. What is the exact address? Which GoFundMe?
It's like a Give, Send, Go.
It's like Give, Send, Go.
Give, Send, Go.
Give, Send, Go.
Saving
right?
Sawyer.
Okay, Saving Sawyer. There you go.
We'll have a link in the show
Great.
notes and everything.
There you go.
On the screen and everything.
Cool.
So, all right, thank you so much. Yeah, we're praying for you, and best of luck.
Thank you so much. I love what you guys do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Harrison.
Wow, that's it. That's crazy.
Harrison Tinsley.
Well, thanks, Harrison, for coming on, and best of luck in the battle, and we'll all be praying for you. And
it's a terrible story.
Hey, I have 2 questions for you. How are you paying for your health care, and how's that working out for you? If it's working perfectly, great. Go grab a snack. If not, then listen closely, because I have a solution for you. A biblical solution. Samaritan Ministries. Samaritan Ministries is a community of Christians paying one another's medical bills. It's biblical, affordable healthcare sharing with no network restrictions. Here's how it works. When a medical need arises, you choose the healthcare provider that's right for you and have a say in the treatment you receive, even if it's a natural approach or an alternative medical treatment. Your medical bills are shared with fellow members and your need is covered in prayer. Healthcare sharing with Samaritan Ministries may also be more affordable than what you're paying now, and if it's the right fit, you can join anytime, even today. Check it out at samaritanministries.org/thebabylonbee. That's samaritanministries.org/thebabylonbee.
And now it's time for the Babylon Bee's Bible verse of the week. Amen.
This is for Travis to read.
Matthew 9:32 in the proper King James Version. As they went out, behold, they brought to him a dumb man possessed with a dumb man possessed with a devil.
Such a dumb man.
So dumb.
Here ends the reading.
Here ends the reading.
Now just think about the dumb man in your life.
Who's the dumb man in your
Who's the dumb man possessed with the devil in your life?
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
You used to be good.
Adam Ford.
Adam Ford.
Adam Ford.
I really miss Adam Ford.
This is from YouTube. This is a Holo 502.
Hi.
I thought this channel was satire about conservatives, but given the ignorance in the comment sections, it seems to have actually bent the space-time satire continuum all the way back around to satirizing liberals.
Oh, man.
I mean, I understand that was probably always the intent, but holy
Flower bed.
the irony you guys display is actually incredible to me.
Wait,
I don't get what he's
I don't
saying.
understand the point he's trying to make.
Yeah.
did,
He
Do you
thought,
think it was satire of conservatives, or did
It
he just
sounds like
have
he
no
thought it
concept
was-
of what we do?
yeah, it sounds like he thought it was the Colbert Report.
oh, yeah, we were, I mean, how dare us satirize the liberals?
Okay.
That's crazy.
All right.
All right.
Here's a email from Joseph Pamplona.
Oh, this is the one like where someone just signed up for our email list and
I
they
see.
get the automated message from Seth.
They get the automated messages, and then Joseph Pombo says, "You didn't say anything useful. Just about you. Nothing."
Whoa.
What does he think
Yep,
promotional emails do?
That's the point.
You didn't say anything useful.
Just about
Just
you.
about you. You just talked about yourself the whole time.
And you're not
time.
useful.
What? You didn't ask me any questions.
Nothing.
There was
All right,
no
this
words
one-
of affirmation.
This one's from Andrew Christian author. So I consistently laugh out loud at Babylon Bee headlines. These guys really are a fountain of creativity and a spot of brightness in a weary world. That didn't sound like hate mail at all.
What an idiot.
It says
love
love
mail.
mail.
Oh,
Oh, it's love mail. Those were words of affirmation. Thank you. It
That's a love language, man.
was a love language mail.
maybe he's being really sarcastic and it's hate mail.
Yeah.
I consistently laugh out loud. These guys are a real fountain of creativity.
And a spot of brightness in a weary world, if you know what I mean.
It becomes hate mail when you realize it only has 2 retweets and 14
Yeah,
likes. It's not very high.
The South will rise again.
All right.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We are going to go into the subscriber lounge now, where we have questions from our subscribers we're going to answer. So if you
Wow.
want to join the Q&A,
Done.
jump on in. I think we got some bonus hate mail, and maybe we don't. We
love
have all
that.
kinds of stuff, though. It's going to be great. So sign up, become a subscriber, and you can join us. Here we go.
Coming up next, for Babylon Bee subscribers.
We've had a lot of Pride events this month, unintentional Pride events.
Whoops.
But whoops.
I'm here at the Pride Parade again.
Yeah.
Kyle famously told me multiple times, I want you to be comfortable that 98% of what you do is not going to be published or whatever.
Yeah.
These people are filled with so much genuine hate. On the
I know.
side.
They're talking about how we were inciting hate,
It's
and they
such
just hate.
vitriol.
I wanted to be a paleontologist.
This has been another edition of the Babylon Bee podcast from the dedicated team of certified fake news journalists you can trust here at the Babylon Bee, reminding you to work out while listening to Carmen the Champion to see extra gauge.